Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video I will explain all the different options to create a timer in Excel. And you can see already a summary of what I'm gonna cover. So let's start with timer options or timer functions. There are basically three ways or three options to create a timer in Excel. The first one is using the Application.OnTime method. I have covered that in another video. I'm gonna leave the link up here. So on time is designed to run a macro at a certain time. And you can of course use that to run a macro every 1 second. Let me show you in the Visual Basic Editor. I'm not gonna be writing code as I usually do because I have already written all the code for these macros. You can download this file from my blog. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. All of these timers are using the application on time method. And then later I will show you an example using one of the other methods, which has several other advantages. But application on time looks like this here. You write application on time and the time when you're gonna run the macro. So we can say from now plus a time value of 1 second, I'm gonna run move timer. And you see the minimum time we can use here is 1 second. So this option only lets you have a timer in seconds, minutes, hours, of course. Then we move the timer and we call again after 1 second the same macro. So that's how application on time works. And again, check the other video for more details. Now the second option is the timer VBA function. Timer returns the number of seconds that has elapsed since midnight, and it's a number with decimals, so it allows to track the time in milliseconds. I have explained how it works in another video. See the link up here. So one of the advantages is that you can track time in milliseconds with this function. Now these two options have another disadvantage, which is that execution pauses, like with many other macros, when you click a cell, enter value, or select a shape or things like that. That does not happen with the third option. Now, the third option, the SetTimer function of the user32 library or Windows API, has the disadvantage that relies on that API or library, and that API is only available for Windows, so not for Mac. Now, this looks like this here. I've used that in many other videos. I'm gonna leave the link up here to one of the videos where I move shapes, move circles around the worksheet using this function, because this function allows you to run a macro every certain interval. This is the declaration. Now, the setTimer function has 4 parameters, and there's another kill timer function to stop the timer. So these 4 parameters, the third one, you can see that here, the lapse is the lapse time. I have set it to 1000 milliseconds. So this is tracking the time in milliseconds to show you an example of a timer using this function later in the video. Okay, so those are the three options. Now, where can we have the timer, right? So timer locations. So you can see here the different options. The first option is to have the timer in a cell or a range. In this case, this is cell N4. To show the timer on a cell, this looks like if we go to timer 1. Now this says timer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each of these 5 examples here. Okay, if you download the file, you can follow along. So to have the timer on that cell, you just say sheet 1 range N4. This line initializes the value to 0 when you start the timer, and then when you move the timer, this gets the value in N4 in that cell and adds 1 second, because you are running the timer each second. You are calling this macro every 1 second. Now some people ask, what if I want to have another button to pause and resume? I don't want to. So you just need to have another macro instead of, well, when you pause, you still call a stop timer, right? And this is using this Boolean variable declared up here at the module level. So when you pause, you can still use the same macro, stop timer. And then you create another macro instead of start timer. You can call it resume timer. And you just remove this line. You don't want to set it to 0 because you want to resume. Okay, if you want to add this other button to pause, resume the timer. Now another option is to have a text box or any other shape. So you see this is a text box. The name is timer box. And if we go here to timer 2, it's using the text box. The macros are exactly the same as you see here. Now the difference is you need to add the time to the text box. So you set the timer box in sheet 1 shapes timer box, and then you change the text frame characters text to the value. Here we set it to 0, and when we move the timer, we set the text in that box equals the time value of the text plus the time value of 1 second. Now another option is having an activeX control, and in this case it's also a text box, but it's an activeX. If you put design mode, you can select it and you can see the properties. Here you see the name of this activeX control is timer X, and the macro looks exactly the same, but of course now we need to change the text in the timer X activeX text box control. Same here. So the text in the box is going to be the time value of the text plus 1 second. Now these three options, if I start timer here, you see, and you can start several timers at the same time because I have separate macros for each of them. So if I start the timer here and you go to another sheet, you don't see the timer anymore. The timer is still working, but you don't see that anymore. For the text box and the ActiveX control, you cannot really move it, but for the cell, you could actually change and say active sheet. And if you say here timer 1 instead of sheet 1, you say active sheet, or you don't write anything here, it will show the time in whatever sheet you are on the Excel, but you will need to use a variable instead of the value in the cell. You will have to use a variable, declare the variable up here at the module level to keep the time, to show the time in another sheet. But with these last two options, you can see the time wherever you are. So option 4 is using the status bar. Status bar is this bar down here on the left that says ready, and it usually shows notifications, and you can add a timer there which will always show wherever you are on the workbook. So you see, if I start now we have a timer over there, and if I move to any other sheet, we keep seeing that timer. Well, it's another option. It's probably not the best option, but the option is there. How do you do that? So let me go here to timer 4, and you just need to use application status bar. Here we set it to 0, and here I'm just using a variable to make sure it shows as a string, not as a date. Now the last option, and probably the best option, is to have a user form, a modeless user form, so that you can navigate the workbook, you can go to other sheets, and you can always see the timer. So here is the user form with the timer. You can put it wherever you want. And of course, if you move to any other sheet or you do other things, the timer is still visible over there. So this is a big advantage of the user form. Now, as I said, all these examples here are using the Application.OnTime method. And by the way, some of you ask me, what if I want to have a timer in PowerPoint? So one of the disadvantages of Application.OnTime is that you cannot have that in PowerPoint. The PowerPoint application object does not have an on-time method, on-time event. So you need to use either of those two functions, but I will cover that in a separate video. Now, as I said, all of these examples are using the on time. There's a big disadvantage of on time and timer, and it is that if I start running a timer with any of these two methods and I select a cell, the timer pauses. The macro execution pauses, right? So the timer is not running when I'm editing a cell. Now, if I click OK, it's running again. Same happens if you click a button, like now I'm clicking the start on form button, so the timer has stopped. Now the timer is working. The same happens, of course, if I click on the user form. Everything stops because we are using application on time. And the same happens with timer. So we can avoid this using the SetTimer function. So here, if you download this file, you can see here the timer API and the timer API example that I'm using on a user form, because I think this is the best option to have a timer in Excel. The macros are very similar to the previous ones, but now instead of using application on time, you don't see application on time anymore here. We are just calling the start timer API, this macro, which is gonna call every 1 second, 1000 milliseconds, the timer event that is calling the macro timer 6, which is this example here, okay? And then we are gonna, again, as we did before, we're gonna change the caption of a label on the form. By the way, I didn't explain that before, but the only thing we have here on this user form is a label that I have called time label. And another important thing is that you need to show the form as modeless. So show modal is false, as you see here. You can also set the starting position. Here is center, but you can set it to manual and put the form wherever you want. And eventually you may want to disable the form so it cannot be clicked, but I rather leave it enabled, and I have an event here to make sure it stops the timer when I close the form in any of the ways possible. So now to show you how this works, I'm gonna assign now to these buttons, instead of a start timer 5, I'm gonna have here start timer 6, which is using the set timer function of the Windows API. I will also change it for the stop timer, this one. So now if I run this, despite I am selecting the user form or selecting a cell for editing, the timer keeps running. So this is the beauty of the set timer function of the Windows API. Unfortunately, only available for Windows. But that's the best option to create a timer, because you can see the timer wherever you are on the workbook, if you are on another sheet, and it will never stop, even if you are editing cells or selecting shapes. For example, if I select this shape, the timer keeps running. Now this other timer starts running, but this one here is using the application on time, and if I select something, that one pauses, but the one using the set timer function doesn't pause. It keeps going. And until, of course, you kill the timer, stop the timer with the kill timer function. So I hope this clarifies your questions, and it will help you choose the best option to create a timer in Excel. Thanks for watching.